In a world where surface-level flattery and flashy gestures are all too common, the secret to standing out lies not in being louder or more impressive, but in speaking to a woman's emotional core. This approach isn't about manipulation or cheesy lines. It's about understanding how subtle, emotionally intelligent language can create a lasting impact. This video explores 5 forbidden nicknames that, when used with the right tone and timing, can leave a woman thinking about you long after you've left the room. 1. Trouble. At first glance, calling someone trouble might seem like harmless teasing. But in the context of attraction, it holds emotional depth. When a man says this with a smirk and confidence, it becomes a flirtatious acknowledgement of the woman's impact on him. It tells her she's not just attractive, she's a force, a delightful disruption to his emotional equilibrium. This nickname creates an inside joke, an emotional imprint that feels unique and personal. It's not about praising her looks but about reflecting back her boldness, spontaneity, and charm. Used authentically, when she's caught you off guard with a clever remark or a spark in her eyes, it becomes a moment of emotional truth disguised as humor. And that's what lingers in her mind, how she made you feel something alive, fun, and real. 2. Heartbreaker. Heartbreaker walks the fine line between admiration and emotional independence. When said calmly, with a knowing smile, it tells her you see her charm and allure, but you're not falling headfirst like others might. It's not worshipful or desperate. It's confident and self-possessed. This nickname recognizes her power without surrendering yours. It gently hints that she's likely broken hearts before, but you're not necessarily lining up to be the next. That emotional tension, being noticed without being idolized, is magnetic. It signals to her that you're different from the others, someone who sees through the patterns yet remains unbothered. That curiosity, that emotional steadiness, builds interest and intrigue. 3. My favorite headache. Few phrases carry the layered emotional meaning of my favorite headache. It combines affection with exasperation in a way that feels honest and emotionally engaging. It says, "You get under my skin, but I wouldn't have it any other way." This phrase works best during playful banter or verbal sparring, moments when she's teasing you or being frustratingly irresistible. It captures the complex nature of real emotional connection, where challenge and charm coexist. Psychologically, it taps into what's known as the intermittent reward loop, creating emotional variety that feels addictive and keeps her invested. Importantly, it validates her influence without placing blame or pressure. You're letting her know she affects you, but in a way you enjoy, a unique, emotionally rich space that makes her feel both impactful and safe. 4. Wild card. Calling her a wild card is a way of recognizing and celebrating her unpredictability. It's not about physical beauty or charm, it's about the emotional energy she brings. When used in moments where she surprises you with wit or boldness, this nickname becomes a mirror reflecting her unique essence. It creates emotional identity. She begins to see herself through your eyes as someone bold, exciting, and uncontainable. That sense of being truly seen, not just complimented, is powerful. She feels encouraged to lean into her spontaneity and express her full personality because you've created a space where it's safe and even admired. Delivered with calm confidence, Wildcard makes her feel like a mystery worth exploring, not solving. And that mystery keeps her emotionally engaged and coming back for more. 5. Muse. Among the most emotionally resonant nicknames, Muse carries a depth that most compliments lack. It doesn't just say, "I like you," it says, "You inspire me." It's not about needing her or putting her on a pedestal. It's about acknowledging her emotional impact on your inner world. When a man says, "You're kind of my muse," in a grounded, genuine way, he's offering more than admiration. He's offering emotional significance. She's no longer just someone to impress, she becomes a part of his story, his clarity, his creativity. This kind of praise connects her to your personal growth and emotional state. It activates what psychologists call ego investment, where she begins to see herself as part of your evolution. That creates a bond that's not only romantic but deeply meaningful and rare. The bigger picture. Emotional language over empty words. These 5 nicknames, Trouble, Heartbreaker, My Favorite Headache, Wild Card, and Muse, aren't about tricks or tactics. They're about emotional honesty, delivered with intention. Each one taps into a different emotional desire: to be playful, to be respected, to be challenged, to be unique, and to be meaningful. In a culture flooded with cliches and surface compliments, what truly stands out is emotional depth. When a woman feels like you see her, not just her looks but her energy, her boldness, her unpredictability, her emotional presence, she remembers you. Not because you were flashy, but because you made her feel something real. Attraction, after all, isn't built on perfect words. It's built on the emotional experiences we create in the space between them. These nicknames are not magic spells, they're subtle tools of emotional influence. Used wisely, they help you create a connection that's not only memorable but deeply felt. So the next time you find yourself in a moment of emotional spark, skip the generic praise and reach for something more thoughtful. Speak not just to who she is, but to how she makes you feel. Because when a woman feels emotionally alive in your presence, she'll want to return to that feeling again and again. And that's the real secret, not getting her attention, but earning her memory.